Before I continue, comment where you're watching from. We love hearing from our global family because what happened next changed everything. And it all started with that one lie. The next morning, I woke up in a house that no longer felt like mine. The silence was loud. His side of the bed was empty. No note, no call, no explanation. Just gone. Like I didn't deserve even a goodbye after being publicly humiliated the night before. By noon, the staff had stopped looking me in the eyes. I walked into the kitchen, and they suddenly remembered other tasks. I overheard two of them whispering in the hallway. They thought I was cheating too. The lie had spread fast, faster than wildfire, and no one asked for my side. My husband didn't come home for 3 days. When he finally did, he stayed in the guest wing. We didn't speak. He couldn't even look at me. The man who once kissed my forehead every morning now acted like I was poison. You see, Rachel had always been polite, but never kind. When I first met her, she pretended to welcome me into the family, but there was always an edge to her compliments. You have a bold sense of style. Your hair is so wild. I could never pull that off. And when I was introduced to their social circle, she made sure I knew my place, switching my name card to the far end of the table, interrupting me during conversations. Always introducing me as my brother's wife, never by name. It wasn't just passive-aggressive, it was strategic, and I ignored it. I told myself I was imagining things. That being the only black woman at their events made me extra sensitive. I didn't want to rock the boat. I wanted peace. So I smiled, stayed poised, and tried harder. I told myself that once I proved my worth, they'd accept me, but it never came. No matter what I achieved, my boutique's national recognition, my interior design feature in Architectural Digest, my charity event that raised over $500,000, Rachel found a way to diminish it. She once told my husband at brunch, "It's cute that she has her little projects to keep her busy. As if my entire career was a hobby, as if I wasn't building something real on my own terms." And yet, I stayed silent, because I thought love was enough. Because I believed my husband saw through it. Because I thought he'd defend me if it ever came to a real fight. But I was wrong. After the accusation, I became a ghost in my own life. I stopped attending social events. Clients canceled meetings. Mutual friends stopped returning texts. I was tainted goods now. The wife who cheated on a billionaire with her fitness trainer. Didn't matter that it wasn't true. Perception is. Currency in their world, and mine had just crashed. I cried once, just once, in the bathtub, fully dressed. I'd walked in there to wash my face and ended up sliding down the tile, clutching my knees like a child, the water from the faucet drowning out my sobs. But that night, something shifted in me. I realized that I was alone, but not powerless. That's when the silence stopped feeling like punishment and started feeling like strategy. I started asking questions, quietly reaching out to the few people I trusted. I began retracing my steps, examining the narrative Rachel had built. Something didn't feel right. The photo she'd shown him, he never let me see it, just claimed it existed. But Rachel's biggest mistake, she underestimated me. She thought I'd crumble, that I'd crawl away quietly. She didn't know I was watching, planning, connecting dots. I was going to find out how she pulled this off. And when I did, I wouldn't. Just clear my name. I'd burn the whole lie down to ash. What would you do if someone you trusted betrayed you this way? Because for me, this wasn't just about saving my marriage anymore. This was war. Silent, calculated, and mine to win. The first person I reached out to was Jason. My trainer, or, as Rachel called him, the affair, answered on the second ring, cheerful and casual as ever. Silence followed. Finally, Jason said, "That's insane. I haven't even been in the country the last 2 weeks. I was in Tokyo with Greg, his husband." That was my first breath of clarity. I asked for proof. He sent over plane tickets, airport check-ins, and even a goofy sushi video they'd posted with a timestamp. He hadn't even been on the same continent when that alleged photo was taken. That was the first thread that started to unravel everything. Next, I contacted Ava, my old friend, who now worked in high-end event planning. She used to work with Rachel briefly before they had a falling out. I told her the basics and asked, "Do you think she'd go that far?" Ava didn't even hesitate. "Yes, 100%. That woman's been obsessed with controlling your husband ever since you came into the picture. She treats him like he's her property." It was a gut punch I wasn't prepared for. I always knew Rachel didn't like me, but this was darker, possessive, twisted. That's when Ava mentioned something I hadn't considered. "Do you remember Oliver, the digital forensics guy we used during that brand sabotage case? If Rachel forged something, he'll find out." And just like that, I had a plan. I gathered everything I could. I texted Jason for every image and clip we'd ever taken together. I sent Oliver the photo metadata, screenshots, even some security footage from my boutique to cross-reference. While he worked, I started digging on my end. Rachel wasn't stupid. She was meticulous, but she got too confident, thinking people like that always leave fingerprints. It was in a financial ledger from the family foundation. Something boring, something no one looked at, but I did because I remembered Rachel saying she was overseeing a new charity launch. And I remembered hearing the name GemWorks Media during a fundraiser. GemWorks wasn't a media firm. It was a freelance editing house. And 1 month before the dinner, Rachel had transferred nearly $12,000 to them from a discretionary budget line labeled social promotions. I confronted the firm anonymously through a burner email posed as a client asking about their retouching capabilities. The response came quickly. "Yes, we specialize in AI-generated composites, identity swapping, and realistic alterations." Gotcha. The photo was fake. I knew it. Now I just needed Oliver to confirm it. And bless his methodical brilliance, he did. He called me 3 days later. "It's a deep fake. The body isn't yours. The face was lifted from a selfie you posted last year, then restructured and placed over someone else. Whoever did this was good, but not good enough." I wanted to scream, cry, laugh. I felt like I'd been holding my breath for weeks. And finally, someone handed me oxygen. But I wasn't going to run to my husband with this proof. No. He didn't believe me when I was crying in front of him. He didn't even ask me. He listened to Rachel, not his wife. Said no, this wasn't for him. It was for everyone. If Rachel wanted a show, I'd give her one. I waited patiently, quietly. I let her keep her illusion. I let her keep smiling at me at brunches, keep walking past me like she won, keep whispering to mutual friends with that little tilt of her head. Because the annual family dinner was coming up, every shareholder, every socialite, every person whose opinion she cared about would be there. That was where her empire would crumble. Would you stay quiet or burn it all down like I did? I wore white. Not just any white. A tailored off-shoulder satin gown that shimmered under the chandeliers. Hair up, earrings bold, heels tall. I walked into that ballroom like a woman reborn. Every inch of me screamed, composed, untouchable, and done playing nice. The annual family dinner was held at the Fairfax Club, a place so exclusive even billionaires had to book months in advance. The room was glittering with soft jazz, crystal centerpieces, and all the people who mattered to my husband's world. But tonight, they would remember me. As I entered, the whispers began almost immediately. Some smiled politely, others pretended not to see me. But Rachel, she didn't even blink. She raised her glass from across the room, smirking like she still held the crown. She was draped in emerald green, seated beside my husband, like a queen next to her king. The place card beside him, where my name should have been, had been reassigned to some distant cousin. They'd already rewritten me out of the story. Good. Let them. I made small talk, kissed cheeks, accepted air kisses from people who had turned their backs on me just weeks earlier. But I didn't flinch. I waited. The moment came when my husband was invited to give his annual family toast. He stood handsome in his navy tux, holding his glass high, and that's when I stood. I didn't raise my voice, didn't need to. My tone was calm, crisp, cutting. I stepped forward. I pulled a small remote from my clutch and clicked. Behind me, the ballroom screen lit up. The infamous photo, the one I had never been allowed to see, now on display for everyone. Gasps, murmurs. I let the silence stretch. Then I played the final piece. It's an audio recording. Rachel's voice sharp and smug. The room erupted. Aunties gasped. Uncles muttered. Glasses clinked against the marble floors. My husband's face went pale.
I looked from me to Rachel, speechless.
His hand fell to his side and he sat down like his legs couldn't carry the weight of the shame. I turned to my husband. I'm not here for an apology. I'm here for clarity for everyone. And then I picked up my clutch, nodded once, and walked out. Behind me, I heard murmurs rising, chairs scraping back, and Rachel calling after me.
Oh.
You're not better than us. Hey, maybe not, but I was free. Comment expose. If you'd reveal everything like I did at the dinner, it's because when someone tries to ruin your name, sometimes the only way to survive is to become the storm. It took 3 days for my husband to reach out. Long email, too formal, too late. He said he was devastated and blindsided by Rachel's betrayal, that he felt ashamed for not giving me the benefit of the doubt, that he hoped I'd find it in my heart to understand. I stared at the screen for a long time, not angry, just exhausted, because the truth is I wasn't mourning him anymore. I was mourning the version of me that once needed his approval, his family's acceptance, his love to feel whole. That version of me was gone now. His mother showed up a few days later. She looked smaller somehow, humbled. She apologized, not just for what happened at the dinner, but for the years of microaggressions, of silence in the face of Rachel's cruelty. She said she'd always admired me, but never had the courage to defend me. I thanked her. I meant it. But I also told her that forgiveness doesn't mean re-entry. That part of my life had closed. Rachel vanished. She left the city, and the family removed her from the foundation's board. Her fall was swift, but I didn't take pleasure in it. I didn't need to, she exposed herself. As for me, I didn't just move on. I leveled up. I launched a mentorship program for young Black women in design and real estate, something I'd dreamed of for years but never had the confidence to start. Now I had fire, purpose, freedom. Every now and then I'd still get invites from the same people who once whispered behind my back, I don't go. I don't need their validation, because the truth is, I didn't just survive that dinner. I became untouchable after it. Have you ever been betrayed by someone you trusted completely? Share your story below. I read every comment, and your voice might help someone else. Remember this: when they try to destroy you with lies, make sure the truth becomes your legacy.